Hello and welcome back. If you're new to the channel and you want to not only outwit the competition, but also perplex up your Heroclix IQ, make sure to smash that subscribe button and also the bell notification so that you're sure to not miss anything. Oh man, Happy New Year to everybody. Today is December 31st, 2017. So hopefully everybody out there is being safe, having fun, and you know, if you're out, there's no shame in getting a taxi, a Lyft, an Uber, whatever it is you got to do to get back to wherever it is you're supposed to be safely. We just finished up the holiday, so hopefully you got some Heroclix gifts that were featured in that holiday guide to gift giving, because some of that stuff was pretty cool. So today's Heroclix live stream, since there's still not very much Heroclix news going on, is going to be my top 10 Heroclix for 2017. These aren't necessarily the most competitive Heroclix in any of the sets. I felt like that would be actually kind of a boring thing to do, because we all know that we all know that it'd be basically Unimind, Green Arrow, Avengers, Defenders War, a couple other things. Let me see here. A live stream on New Year's Eve. Yes, a live stream on New Year's Eve. I have two small children. The days of being 21, 22, 23 and being out all night are over. So I figured, what the heck, come on here, hang out with you guys, have some fun, maybe get a little bit of stuff going in the comments. If while you're watching this, go ahead and put your favorite Heroclix from this past year in the live chat, or in the if you're watching this on a playback, in the comments. We'll go ahead and take a look at them, talk about them. Like I said, these aren't the most competitive. I had a lot of fun with Heroclix this year, though. I played a ton of figures, which is not normally the case. I could have easily made a top 50, but that would have been a pretty long video for you guys to endure. So let's go ahead. We'll get this list kicking off here with, and these are in no particular order, by the way. Let's go ahead and get this thing started with my first figure, Howard the Duck from Avengers Defenders War. Ever since I was a little kid and the Howard the Duck movie came out, even though it's not particularly good, it does not hold up well to the test of time. But it was still enjoyable. But ever since then, I've just had a soft spot for Howard the Duck, and this is actually a really good Heroclix. For 50 points, he really shines with his special on his damage, which is his first 3 clicks, and it's called "We Can Do This the Wrong Way or My Way." And it's at the beginning of your turn, choose a standard power that an adjacent friendly character can use. Until your next turn, all characters within 6 squares in line of fire Howard the Duck can't use the chosen power. So that is really powerful, depending on what the power is that you are taking away from people. It is just nuts. Howard is fantastic. His keyword assortment, too, is just really good. You got Animal, which is a good one. Defenders, which is a good name keyword. Martial Arts is okay. Mystical, Politician. He also has Celebrity thrown in there, too. But definitely Animals, Defender, Martial Arts, and Mystical are really strong keywords for him to have. The next one we're going to go ahead and look at here is one that I don't really know that I know too much about the character himself, but as soon as I can find out where, there we go, is WizKid. At 25 points from Deadpool and X-Force, he was one of my favorite figures to play. Has Initiative and X-Factor keywords. X-Factor is not too bad, but not the strongest keywords. 25 points for Prime. Has the flight ability, but his one trait is he can't carry, so that's a knock. But he, where he really shines is on all 3 clicks of life that he has. It's Techno Form your weapons. Adjacent friendly characters modify their attack, range, and damage values by +1. This guy was just bananas, at least in my opinion. I played a lot of Weasel when he was around, and this is just Weasel amped up to me. So he's really good, and we're going to get to have him for a good long while. I played him on a ton of teams. Just fun. There's nothing really going on with him other than that, but yeah. So the next figure that I have is Domino, also from Deadpool and X-Force, but this is the Fast Forces 25-point version. If you haven't noticed watching my videos, if something has a split dial, other than a few very rare exceptions, I'm almost always going with the lesser point dial. She's 25 points, 6-pack, and X-Force keywords, so X-Force is pretty good. 7 range, which is actually pretty long for nowadays. And she's on here. I really like Pop, as the Alpha Strike calls them. Probability Control, Outwit, and Perplex, and she has 2 clicks of Probability Control. She has Stealth on all 3 clicks, Precision Strike on her first click. For 25 points, she's a decent tertiary attacker and support figure. But that is... she's just my pick. She's just fun. Excuse me, guys. For 25 points, it's easy to find space for her on a team. But yeah, so there she goes. And don't worry, DC people, there are a couple DC figures on this list. I don't hide the fact that I am, in fact, a Marvel fanboy. But some of the DC figures were fun. And I do like some DC comics. Yeah, they're few and far between. But the next one we're going to go ahead and look at here is Ghost Rider. And this one's on here. Well, to begin with, Ghost Rider is one of my favorite figures just to begin with. I'm sorry, favorite characters just to begin with. This guy had 3 different point values. What did he have here? He had let me bring it up here. He had 100, 75, and 50. And all of them were good for the points. He had that Marvel Knights trait that all of them had, where he could either be a wild card or he could have a minimum 10 attack value, which is crazy. Ignored hindering, ignored elevated, ignored characters for movement, had Indom, 4 range, has Marvel Knights, Midnight Suns, and Mystical. Marvel Knights is pretty good. Mysticals are really always a good keyword. His trait, which he had on his first 5 clicks of life on his movement, his special on his movement is Ghost Rider can use sidestep, give Ghost Rider a power action to move up to his speed value in a direct path. After action resolves, choose 3 damage or 2 penetrating damage. Then make a close attack targeting all characters he moved through. Hit characters are dealt the chosen damage instead of the normal damage and placed into squares that Ghost Rider did not move through adjacent to the current square. This figure was just so good. I beat on people with this. And just the sculpt was crazy. This is... I don't want to throw out favorite sculpt ever in Heroclix, but, I mean, this one is good. Or it's such a good sculpt. There's nothing. As soon as I saw the sculpt, the figure could have been terrible, but they gave me a good sculpt and a good figure. So that's how that goes. The next one we're going to talk about, there's a lot of Avengers Defenders War in this. That was just, I had a lot of fun with that set. I would say as far as sets go, It's either Avengers Defenders War or Mighty Thor that I just really enjoyed both sets. I felt like we had a couple sets, and then these two sets were just stellar. So the next one we're going to talk about, I actually did a video on, and so did a lot of people. It's kind of crazy. We didn't all, like the Heroclix content creators, we didn't talk to each other about all doing a Purple Man video, but it was weird that we all came out with one at the same time. Like, that should tell you how good he is. But the next one on this list is Purple Man from Avengers Defenders War. Has Thunderbolt's keyword, which is always good. Whew, don't know where that came from. Spy. Minions of Doom, which isn't Minions of Doom anymore. It's that question mark thing. It's still wild card, though. 70 points, 6 range, 3 targets. Or, I'm sorry, 2 targets. Then he has a special on his movement for all 5 clicks of life. Special on his defense for all 5 clicks of life. And on clicks 2 and 3 has Perplex. It says his trait, once a victim, always mine to control. Purple Man considers opposing characters with pheromone tokens to be adjacent and have a point value of 0 for mastermind purposes. That's important later. Special on his movement, make you do whatever I want. Purple Man can use mind control. When he does, modifies attack value by +3. He doesn't take feedback damage for using it, and hit characters are given a pheromone token. So he gets +3 to his attack, and this got kind of crazy when you give him like Sinister Syndicate team ability, or what's the DC one? Batman Enemy, where they replace their attack, and you could give them like an 11 to make it a 14. That's when this would get crazy shenanigans. And it was pretty easy to give them Sinister Syndicate and still be themed with a Thunderbolt. Keyword. And then his special on his defense is Purple Man can use Mastermind. When he does, he may remove a pheromone token from an opposing character to transfer damage to that character. So you could basically make your opponent hurt themselves. And at 70 points, this guy was crazy. He's good. I love that figure. And that's about all I have to say about that. But anyway, so now we got another Marvel, then it looks like we got a DC guy coming up. So we got this one from Avengers Defenders War, and I thought I was going to hate it, and I didn't, and it's Foggy Nelson. The WizKids this last year did a good job with these little bystander type characters and just making them good. For 15 points, this guy was crazy. He had, it's not like, he doesn't have like, 6 clicks up Perplex for 15 points. But what he does is crazy. He has, for 15 points, 3 clicks of life. He has Sidestep and Willpower on his first 2 clicks. Other than that, his stats are just abysmal. But where he really shines, he has Keyword of Marvel Knights, which actually got a pretty good buff in Avengers Defenders War, so you can make a pretty decent team with them. But his trait, trust me, I'm a lawyer, is why he's on a lot of teams, especially since Outwit got a really good buff. So it states, at the beginning of your turn, choose a friendly character of 150 points or less. Until your next turn, as long as the chosen character is adjacent to Foggy Nelson, they cannot have their powers countered or their combat values decreased by opposing game effects. And that is just crazy. So it protects them against Outwit, protects them against negative perplexes, and for 15 points, that's crazy. You just get, pair them up with a nice running shot flyer, and know that nothing bad as far as stats or powers getting taken away is going to happen to him. 15 points. Oh, it's so sweet when you get to use them, and it's just fantastic. Let's see here. Who's the next guy? The next guy, we're finally getting some DC love here, is Al Jordan. This is a pick power figure. He is meta, as a bunch of people have proven. But Green Lantern is one of my favorite DC characters, and this was just a really cool take on him. From Elseworld, he's 90 points, 7 range, Green Lantern core keyword, mystical theme, past, and ruler. So he has 2 really good generic keywords in mystical and past. Green Lantern core is not bad. Ruler's okay, but they tend to be a lot of points, so you're gonna have trouble finding a ruler to pair him up with. Now you can do it. It's just not the easiest thing in the world. So he has a trait that makes him very good, and a special on his damage, his first 3 clicks, that make him very good. He also has indomitability, has 4 clicks of sidestep, then phasing teleport, 18 defense for his first 4 clicks, where he has energy shield and barrier. Then he has regen, and 3 clicks of that special and 2 clicks that are blank. Overall stats are okay, not great. I'd say secondary attacker level. But where he shines is his trait and his special. So his trait is Genie of the Lamp. Give Al Jordana a free action. Choose a standard power and choose one of the following: wing symbol, giant. Man, I'm struggling. Wing symbol, dolphin symbol, giant symbol, or tiny symbol. Al Jordan can use the chosen power and has the chosen symbol until your next turn. Which is just, you can get some crazy combinations out of that. Make him tiny so anybody can carry him. Make him giant so he can, sidestep and then carry somebody out of danger. Give him wing symbol so that, he can carry somebody and get around some other stuff. Dolphin symbol. I still kind of roll my eyes when I see the dolphin symbol, but it does have, once in a blue moon, it has a use. But then he has a special on his damage, which is 1001 Knights of Empires. It says Al Jordan can use Perplex. If he uses Perplex to modify the same character in the same value as during your last turn, he can modify it by +2 or -2 instead. So it's an amped up Perplex where, first turn it's a +1, then next turn is a +2 or -1, then a -2. And this guy's he's a good, I'd say good secondary. He blends secondary attacker and support with, I saw a build where PJ Bolin, I'm not sure how you say that, and I feel bad. But he ran 2 of these guys with some success. So it can be done. He is good. But yeah. So there's that. The next guy we're going to talk about is, I was stoked ever since I found out he was going to be in the set. And it's going to be Beta Ray Bill. He's right on the cusp of being competitive. He still hasn't, fully realized that yet, but some people are really trying, including myself. And he's just, and when they designed him for this was a team. Somebody won Team Worlds, and I feel bad. I don't remember who was on the team. So if you guys remember, go ahead and put it in the live chat or in the comments. But this was a championship build, and this is just really good. It starts with Stormbreaker, which gives him Quake, Energy Explosion, a +2 range. He can have him at 225 or 125, 4 range, dual targets, flying, indomitable. Has Annihilator's keyword, which is Asgardians, which is good after this set. Cosmic, which isn't bad. Omega Flight's pretty bad unless you're playing. Golden, Robot, isn't bad. Warrior isn't bad. So he has a trait wielding Stormbreaker, where he gets Stormbreaker. Corbinite DNA. Beta Ray Bill can reduce penetrating damage, which I can't tell you how many people, they look at the card at the beginning of the game, they say they understand it, and then we're getting in the game, getting to the damage phase, and they're like, okay, they finally get their chance to, maybe use a charge exploit, or I gave him a shot at using running shot, Psychic Blast, and then they realize, oh well, he's just reducing it anyway. So that's crazy. On his last click, he has Aided by Scuttlebutt, which is a stop click. Regeneration, Toughness. When Beta Ray Bill is given a move action after resolution, he can use Regeneration at no cost, and he has on that click a 10 movement with phasing. So he can just, take a walloping, then phasing with a friendly character 10 squares away and heal for free. It's just nuts. Then he has his, what I would call the landmark power for this figure, which is weather manipulation, and it's on his clicks 1, 2, 4, and 6. And it's probability control. Opposing characters can't target Beta Ray Bill or friendly characters adjacent to him unless they begin their turn within 4 squares of their target or are making a close attack. Man, that is just a powerful figure. There's no getting. I'm not really sure that more than that needs to be said. But he's just he is cray cray. But all right, enough about him. The next figure, the next figure we have is Hulk, and this is also from the Mighty Thor. I like the 50-point version from the Fast Forces. He's just, for 50 points, I don't know who let this out, especially with his trait. Like, who let this out of playtesting for 50 points? All right, so you get, for 50 points, you get the Avengers team ability, which is now +1 to movement for move actions, which is because it's phrased in a way where it doesn't pair with running shot and it doesn't pair with charge. Like, it's just, if you move, you get +1. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I wish it would have been just, when this figure moves, it gets +1. That would have been really good. And with as many low point, it's weird. Like, for forever, they gave us all like 150-point Avengers. So it was like, I'm not getting 4 characters on an Avengers team and 300 points. Why is it free movement? But then they turned around, they changed it, and then they're like, oh, well, we changed it, and now here's a bunch of low point Avengers figures where you could really use free movement, but you're not going to get it. We're changing it to this other thing. So I'm a little salty about it, but anyway, he's crazy. He's got a 10 movement with leap climb, 12 attack with super strength, which now does knockback, 18 defense with impervious, 4 damage, and his trait is Hulk Smash. When Hulk moves, after action resolves, he can use Quake at no cost. So we have single target Quake now, so he can do 4 damage, knock somebody back, and that's an 11 movement he has, basically. And then you tack on giving him sidestep. So, if you put Unimind or somebody on him, came up with a way to give him sidestep. You can move 11, Quake, then sidestep, Quake. Like, it's not so. It's not so. He's so, for 50 points, he's crazy. He's good. I don't know what to say. Like, that's it. I know some people are trying to work with him to see if he can be competitive or not. I don't know. He's definitely good. It's hard to get them moving around. Like, if that Green Lantern that could carry figures was and they could take an action afterwards was a little more reliable, and you could figure out a way to re-roll that, maybe, I could see him getting some more play. But right now, he's just really good for fun games, bordering on competitive. And the last figure I have on this list is Lashina from Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Girls. I almost picked Harley Quinn from this set, the Thrill Killer one, just because she's really good for Mastermind fodder, and she paired up really well with Bud and Lou. But I was like, well, if I'm looking at the figure it's standing on its own, then I can't consider Bud and Lou when I do that. So Lashina is who I ended up going with. So it's she's 75 points, 5 range, 2 targets, Superman enemy team ability, Apocalypse keyword, Female Fury, Soldier, Suicide Squad. So Soldier's not terrible. The rest of these, Suicide Squad, you might be able to work with. But the keywords are okay, not great. She has a trait, Will of Apocalypse, which all the Furies had. When Lashina hits until your next turn, she has Protected, Outwit from opposing Perplex, Exploit Weakness, and Penetrating Psychic Blast. So that's pretty good. She's not going to really get anything out of Exploit and Penetrating Psychic Blast, but Perplex and Outwit, it's always good when you get protected from those. She has another trait. Where do you think you're going? Plasticity, Giant Reach 3. Opposing characters within 3 squares in line of fire treat Lashina's adjacent for moving. And this is where she, as soon as I saw this, I was like, man, this girl's bananas. Like, it's, before this, the only figure we had currently, in modern, that had like an extended range plasticity was Thor Groot, and he was double the points. So when you cut that in half, man, she got good fast. And what I did with her, and what I'm still kind of working with, is pairing her up with 125 point Beta Ray Bill, or if I was playing 400 points, I'd go 225 Beta Ray Bill. So that outside of 4, you can't target me. And there's some ways around it, and then inside of 4, outside of a couple things, you have to stop and then give me a chance to hit you first. So it's just a fun concept. I don't know that it'll ever be on top, but that's what I've been working with for a little bit, and I haven't quite given up yet. She has a special on her attack for the first 3 clicks on her 6-click dial, which is Kiss of the Last Precision Strike. When Lashina hits with a close attack, after resolution, give the target an action token. So Precision Strike with, handing out an action token, denying action economy. She maxes out at a 10 attack, and then on her last 2 clicks, she has a 9. But, at 75 points, she's probably just a secondary attacker anyway. So she's not too bad. So you can, maybe hit somebody that's a support piece that needs to give a power action to do like a super support, and then then hopefully they can't hand out an action to do that super support the next turn. Then she has a special on her damage for her first 2 clicks, and it's We're the Wrath of Darkseid given form. Leadership, when Lashina uses it and succeeds, adjacent friendly characters with the female fury keyword can use Colossal Stamina this turn. So, again, no team I really used her on took advantage of that, but it's still really good, really powerful. And that is basically, that's my whole list, guys. That's all 10. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. We're going to go back and see what some people listed. So we got Mangog, which is from the Mighty Thor set. He's crazy. The Mangog, I've toyed with using him at 150 points just to try to get a 400-point Mangog, and he's crazy. Even at the 30 points is his lower one. To try to get the 150 point is just good too. He's good overall. I haven't seen anybody really break him yet, but he's really good. So let's see here. We're going to, well, since there was another one on here. Let's see here. We got Devil Dino. He is a good one, but that was the year before, actually. I was surprised. I thought, when I was first thinking about making this list, I thought Superior Spider-Man was this year, but it was actually the end of 2016. So Devil Dino is a good one, though. Let's see here. KJ Foster. How's a good replacement for Peggy Carter? Yes, he is. I love Peggy Carter, but I like a non-prime 10 points less Howard the Duck. WizKid is good too. Better replacement for Henry and Weasel. Yep. Again. Oh, you were thinking of the Domino from. You were thinking of the main set Domino, I think, which is also good. Yeah, it's weird. There were a bunch of figures. Domino springs to mind. What's her name? Jessica Jones, too. Where like they had a really good main set version and a really good Fast Forces version, and it made it really hard to pick on who you wanted to put on that theme team or whatever. Which is a good thing. I mean, it's nice to have, you know, the Domino and the Fast Forces had a split dial, and the main set one was a different point value. So you had 3 different flavors to choose from. But you know, normally like when there's multiple versions of something, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to float to one thing, and then I pretty much next time I think I want to use that character again, I pretty much just use that same one again, and then ignore the other ones. That's just what I end up doing. What do we got here? The Shredders. Yeah, the Shredders would have shown up. The Shredder clones would have shown up if I was going to do like a top 10 figures that would have been on like for a meta or a competitive one. It probably would have been the Claw Shredder, Mini Shredder, Unimind, Green Arrow from Elseworld, Goblin King, Cosmic Spider-Man, Avengers Defenders War Hawkeye, Al Jordan, and then I'm not sure what the other 2 figures would have been. Maybe the Drummer, and the Leader, just because I like that +3 perplex. Once Nighthawk Prime goes away, I think you're going to start seeing that Leader getting played, that Red Leader, a lot more. He's going to get played a lot more because Drummer needs line of fire. A lot of people keep throwing out that Merc with the Mouth Deadpool. You got to get 6 of those tokens in order to pull that off, and that's going to be tough. You might get that 1 or 2 out of 5 rounds of Swiss, but I don't think you're not going 5 for 5 like you need to with that. I think the better way around it is going to be using Peace Machine, who probably would have ended up on my list because he's so good. But other than that, guys, I want to just thank you. It looks like this is probably the biggest live stream I've had so far. We got 8 people. I normally get like 5-ish. Is what I would consider doing pretty good. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by for this, and then as always, you know, make sure you if you want to, feel free to share these videos when I'm doing live streams, or you know, if you see a video you like that I just posted regular style, share that too. If you like this content, check out the description below for ways to support the channel. Any little bit helps. Speaking of which, after first of the year, starting in probably February, I'm going to be announcing some cool new things, just getting feedback on some stuff that I was doing, and you know, taking that accordingly, reflecting on myself, trying to get you guys some cool stuff and improve the channel a little bit. So just looking into that stuff. So keep an eye out for that. There'll be some kind of it'll probably be in a live stream that I'll announce it. Well, there's more than one thing. It sounds like one, but there will be a live stream that will announce what's going on. And let's check the comments one more time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, thank you guys for commenting, for viewing. Let's you know, be safe out there. Hopefully 2018 is you know, fantastic to each and every one of you guys and girls that are out there. Uh-oh, we got a Canuck in the house right now. Uh-oh. Alright, well, our Canadian brethren, I will still dispute that you know what bacon actually is. However, I will respect your decision to call ham bacon. But Anyway, that is basically all I have for you guys today. Like I said, if you're watching this on the playback, go ahead and post in the comments what your top 10 Heroclix that came out in 2017 were. We will go ahead and get on that. Happy New Year, and please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.